Governor Cox signing several bills on his last day to do so, some giving parents the power to hold social media companies accountable. More from lawmakers drafting these bills. Plus, the Salt Lake County Health Department confirming a case of the measles, the first one in our state since 2017. And
I feel like I have something to live for. And now what? You're just going to take it all away with this bill?
Florida governor and presumed 2024 presidential candidate Ron DeSantis announcing plans to expand a controversial Florida state law.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Welcome to ABC4 News at 10. I'm Glenn Mills.
And I'm Emily Flores. We thank you for joining us here tonight. We do begin with the weather after another cold, wet day today. We have yet another storm rolling in. Rain expected to change to snow, a sloppy morning commute anticipated. You can see these dark clouds in this look at northbound Legacy Parkway earlier. The rain and snow pushing us even closer to breaking some records from 1983.
Forecaster Bob Bador in for Chief Meteorologist Lana Brophy tonight, tracking the very latest details, and could be interesting in the morning, Bob.
Yeah, it could be. Right now, we're looking fairly calm outside, but we had some active weather this afternoon, and it's going to be even more going into the night. In fact, taking a quick look, this is a photo that Meg Roberts sent us. Some cloud work just right down the valley and looking pretty wild, and we're going to see even more cloud work coming through as we get onto our weather. High temperatures today, not really that high. We saw them drop already, 40s through most of the state. Those are going to be dropping quite a bit. As we get into the weekend, we're going to be struggling to get above the mid-30s along the Wasatch Front. So something we'll be talking about. A lot we're going to be going over. Now, one of the things we've got going on is the storm that's making our way. You can see all of this action that's starting to make its way toward the state. Now, things have cleared out. We had this effect that went through over the lake and then through Salt Lake, and now it's cleared out. But what we've got is more storm coming through. In fact, so much more that the National Weather Service has issued winter weather alerts for our northern and central Utah. You can see that in that pink. That is our winter storm warnings, where we are expecting a lot of snow. Our Wasatch Mountains could be seeing over 2 feet of snow going into this, which is a lot for what we've got. And you see that purple there? Well, that's where we've got our winter storm advisories. So we've got to watch out for those. Most of those are going to be going throughout all of Friday. And we've got our travel impacts. As Emily said, it's going to be a sloppy one. Let's just say that for tomorrow morning. So be ready. Give yourself some extra time going into that, because we're just going to be adding more and more totals into what has just been an incredible snow year. Look at that. We've already got a couple over 700, and we got more. We've got records that are going to be broken. I'll go through all of that and what you can expect tomorrow and this weekend. Coming to my full forecast in just a little bit. Back to you.
Utah is making history, restricting social media companies' access to children.
Yes, Governor Cox signing 2 bills into law that he says no other state has. ABC4's Courtney Johns joining us live in studio to explain the new rules. Courtney.
The first bill that's getting a lot of attention would require a parent's permission in order for someone under the age of 18 to have a social media account, something the bill's sponsor says is critical to protecting children.
This will not replace what a parent needs to do in their own home, but it will give them tools that will allow them to help their kids navigate social media.
The governor's office says since 2010, the rates of mental health issues among teens has nearly doubled, and they believe social media played a role in this. In addition to requiring an age verification, this law will also allow parents to have full access to their child's account. Social media companies are also not allowed to collect the child's data. The other bill signed into law penalizes companies if they use addictive algorithms on children, with a $250,000 fine. Parents can also sue the social media company if their child was exposed to financial, physical, or emotional harm in certain circumstances. Initially, Representative Corey Malloy says he voted against these bills because he believed it was government overreach. But now he supports it.
If it's going to help keep our public safe, whether it's physical or from illness or from social aspects related to social media, I think we do have to look at that very, very carefully.
These laws will go into effect in March of next year, but the governor has already launched a website where you can report those violations. And all you have to do is go to socialmedia.utah.gov and then click on the File a Complaint link. Back to you.
Thank you, Courtney. We will continue this conversation on social media regulations and take a look ahead to the 2024 election. Catch the show Inside Utah Politics this Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Today was the last day for the governor to sign bills into law, and he signed a record number this year. The legislature putting 575 bills on the governor's desk, and that he did, signing every single one of them into law. Utah getting new laws regarding transgender rights, abortion, education, and a lot more. The governor saying he worked closely with the executive and legislative branches this session.
We did go back and look. We actually had 38 bills on our potential veto list, and 30 of them did not pass, and 8 of them were changed substantially in the process to where we could sign them.
The previous record for the number of bills passed by the legislature was 574.
Tonight, a case of the measles confirmed in Salt Lake County, making this the first case of measles in Utah since 2017. The health department saying the infected person was not vaccinated against the disease and traveled outside of the U.S. Health officials say they learned about the case Wednesday, adding that the infected person's exposure was limited to healthcare settings and the person's family members. The county health department urging people to get their measles vaccine, especially before traveling internationally. Symptoms include a fever of 101 degrees or higher, red or watery eyes, and a rash that begins on the face and spreads to cover the body. And in Logan today, a medical emergency at Utah State football practice this afternoon. This according to the Associate Athletics Director for Media Relations. Details are limited, but we do know the player was transported to Logan Regional Hospital. We'll, of course, keep you updated as we learn more on abc4.com. And in an update tonight, a gym owner facing charges accused of secretly recording adults and children at a Woods Cross gym.
Police say 33-year-old Adam Jacobs, the owner of the USA Gymnastics World and a coach for young men, hid cameras in the gym's unisex bathroom. Woods Cross police receiving reports from an employee. He saw what looked like was a charging block in the bathroom, but he opened it up and found a camera inside. Police finding over 500 files on the camera, with more than 70 people filmed, including children. Files on that camera dating back to October of 2022. Now, police are focusing on contacting victims identified in those recordings.
You're more than welcome to reach out to us, and we're willing to give you resources or help you out. We understand that this is a hard time for everyone, and people do feel violated.
Police say other electronic storage devices were found at his home, and they are now being processed.
Well, in Park City, the trial against actress and businesswoman Gwyneth Paltrow entered its third day today. Paltrow accused of recklessly crashing into a Utah skier at Deer Valley, causing severe injuries. 76-year-old Terry Sanderson says the crash in 2016 left him with broken ribs and brain damage. Paltrow claims the accident was not her fault, saying he actually hit her. Sanderson's legal team brought his daughter to the stand today to testify that he was a careful skier, unlikely to cause a serious crash like this.
He was a better skier than I was.
Okay.
And he liked to have fun, but I don't think he took a lot of risks, you know. He was kind of what you would think of as an old man skier, just out to enjoy the day.
Paltrow's lawyers today continued their tactic from yesterday, hammering Sanderson's witnesses on his past medical issues in an effort to cast doubt on the extent of his injuries. Questioning Sanderson's daughter, they also called into question his judgment, discussing his supposed history of dangerous driving.
Was your dad sort of a scary driver before the ski collision?
I think I mentioned he was a multitasker, so he did more things in the car than I wanted my teen drivers to witness.
That's bad judgment, isn't it? To actually read a book?
I wouldn't recommend it.
The last comment drawing an objection from Sanderson's legal team, sustained by the judge. Paltrow's team also brought up what they called the most important piece of evidence, the possible existence of missing GoPro video from the day of the crash. That video has not been entered into evidence.
The search is on for this masked burglary suspect in Roosevelt. Police posting these surveillance photos to social media showing the suspect inside the Jiffy pawn shop on Saturday. They said the front glass door was broken and jewelry was taken.